Honestly, I really feel that they're trying to reach as far as they can with this whole Bray Wyatt and John Cena feud that they're trying to deal with, because it's to me it's kind of like a hit or miss. They do something that they can possibly make Bray Wyatt the most dominant, psychotic heel that they can possibly make him as in the WWE, but then they always fall short by having John Cena win either pretty much cleanly on Raw or cleanly on a pay per view. But recently, he actually won cleanly on Raw with the Usos. And him having the Usos on his side is pretty much his battle and the Usos' battle instead of the battle between him and Bray Wyatt. And honestly, I'd rather just have a single battle, just him versus Bray Wyatt. It would literally make you feel like he's more human when he breaks a little bit. But it's to the point now that he doesn't even care because he had a dominant win over Bray Wyatt with the Usos at his side. And I just feel like they're really trying to reach too far with this entire feud. And honestly, I really feel that it's just going to end, and it's going to end with John Cena being triumphant at Payback. But it's just not really a good build towards Payback. And not only that, why in the world would Bray Wyatt choose a last man standing match if he never been in one? It makes no sense. It makes sense to choose a match where you're dominant in, but Bray Wyatt is still pretty green when it comes to these matches. The guy is new. He's straight out of NXT. Even though he's dominant, he's never been in matches like that. He's never been in a ladder match. He just did a steel cage match. And that's the only match he probably can get a lot of help in. But a last man standing? Come on. I don't know. I'm starting not to necessarily buy this feud, and it's starting to really. I mean, the whole feud itself is just kind of dumbing down for me, and I don't really care about what the outcome is because it's not. You don't really see Bray Wyatt as a guy that has a scary message that John Cena must stop. You don't see that anymore. So I really can care less of who wins in this match at Payback. I could really care less. I will say that as usual, whenever it comes to London, the crowd, like whenever it comes to the UK, the crowd is always awesome. The crowd is always lively, and they were even more lively when it came to Wade Barrett. Of course, Wade Barrett is their own countryman. But what makes me happy about this is that they're actually doing a lot more with the IC Championship. They're not just letting it sit there on somebody's waist and just letting it rot like they're doing with the US title. But honestly, they did a beat the clock challenge for a match at Payback. I was happy to see this because the IC Championship is it's the second most prestigious championship in WWE, and I'm happy that they're doing something with it. They're actually having more tournaments now, and seeing how even though Big E had the best time, and then you end up having RVD having the best time, it really does show that they're doing something with the IC title, which makes me really happy. And Wade Barrett, man, was he great on the mic. He was a dynamo on the mic tonight. And especially the fact that he's actually in his home country was even better. And he had like the biggest cheer I have ever heard in my life. Like the guy had the huge pop. You gotta love that. You really do. He's a great heel for that title. I'm hoping he doesn't lose it that soon. He shouldn't. He should have maybe a few more months. But honestly, I loved it. I love the fact that they're doing something with the IC belt a lot more now. But the one thing that disappointed me a little bit was the fact that Alicia Fox ended up winning, and she ended up beating Paige. And I'm like, really? Paige just beat you on the last Raw, and now you're in her home country, and she loses in her home country to Alicia Fox of all people. Now, I got no beef with Alicia Fox, but her attitude of her acting all weird every time she wins or loses is something that, come on now, stop it. You're trying to be a Divas champ. At least have a bit of class instead of acting like you're 12. We had to deal with that with AJ Lee. Now that AJ Lee is gone, we don't need a black version of her. Come on now, stop. We just need somebody to at least have a little bit of prestige for the belt. If she wants to be a heel, be a decent one. Seriously. I didn't really enjoy the fact that Paige lost, but I'm hoping that she don't lose the title that soon. She hasn't really had it that long. But moving on from that, we end up having a second I'm not saying a second Divas match, but we end up having two Divas involved, and this is something I had predicted on my last Raw review. The fact that Summer Rae was actually filming the Marine 4, the Marine 5, whatever freaking number it is now. She was actually filming that movie, and now that movie is wrapped, she's come right back. And of course, it's gonna be her and Layla going toe to toe. But honestly, y'all, it's gonna be a point to where they're gonna become a tag team. They're gonna be the next heel tag team. I can predict this. They are going to literally break. She's gonna break up with Fandango. Layla's gonna break her heart, and then they're gonna be a tag team. I'm predicting it right now. It's going in the same route that I'm seeing. I'm telling you, they're going to be the next tag team, but they're not Lay Cool. They can't be Lay Cool. I'm sorry. No matter how hard they try, they are not Lay Cool Part 2. But anyway, that's something I'm seeing, and now Fandango is starting to literally slowly drop off the face of obscurity because of all these women that he's with, and the women are the ones that actually are making him more noticed. Sad. Moving on from there, let's talk about the segment of Daniel Bryan. Now, Daniel Bryan, him being out for neck injuries, for him actually having a neck surgery is something that has been on the minds of a lot of WWE fans, especially WWE Universe. Now, the fact that Stephanie came out, honestly, I like Stephanie. I think she's cool, but I really think that she's reaching with this whole Daniel Bryan thing. The fact is that Daniel Bryan's the feud between him and the Authority should have ended at WrestleMania. Seriously. It should not have continued. It should have ended at WrestleMania. You should have admitted that, hey, you're the better guy. I threw everything at the kitchen sink at you, and you still railed right through it. And you know what? You are an A+ player. I'm backing off. They should have did that and kept moving. But Stephanie really keeps pulling and pushing and just keeps this is too far-fetched for me. Like, seriously, she keeps reaching for this feud to continue when this feud should have ended a long time ago. And has anybody seen Kane? I haven't. Ever since Daniel Bryan became injured, we have not seen Kane. Kane kind of vanished. So, honestly, the whole Kane thing has definitely died off. So, you should have let this thing go a long time ago. And now it's to the point where Daniel Bryan's got to give up his title after he's had surgery? That's stupid. It's stupid on your part because you know how angry the WWE Universe is going to be if you force him to give up the title. We know you're not going to do it because Daniel Bryan's bringing in money. He's bigger than John Cena. He's actually an A+ player for real, and he has topped John Cena. The Yes Movement is way beyond the chain gang. Sorry, it kind of is. And the fact of the matter is, they're not that stupid. It will not ever let him hand over the title. We know this. So just move on from this dumb feud already. But honestly, guys, the one thing I can say is that I really do believe that Evolution is a waste of time. Why are they wearing gravestones on their shirts? Why are they burying themselves? Like, is anybody noticing? Are they burying themselves? But my thoughts on Evolution is going to come up a little later in a discussion I'm going to have pretty much posted up later. So I'm not going to go into that. But I will say that it is kind of funny actually seeing Evolution fight the Shield. And even though Evolution is trying to stay dominant, I just can't buy it. I'm sorry. And I like the Shield. The Shield are more together than they've ever been in a long time. And the fact is that Dean Ambrose has kind of mellowed out a bit. And they're kind of really pretty much forming a really great team. And I'm looking forward to see what they're going to offer at Payback. Because I think it's going to be a really great match. It makes no sense for the Evolution to win, though. But either or, it's going to be a really great match like it was at Extreme Rules. But let's go on to the end of the night. It's all, I mean, regardless of how John Cena keeps playing off of the fact that he has two people on his side and he's and Bray Wyatt and all this, he's on cock of Bray Wyatt, it ended well. I like the way it ended because it really made Bray Wyatt look like that he's a guy to not underestimate. And the fact that they ended up ending that whole show with him seeing the whole world in his hands, I think literally it was a great way to go out. It really made Bray Wyatt look like he's a guy that just shouldn't be messed with. And it kind of makes you somewhat interested in what the pay-per-view outcome is going to be. So I liked it. I liked the ending. But guys, my thoughts on Raw is this. There were a few hit or misses when it comes to this, some of the storylines, and I feel like some of the storylines are dragging out a little bit too long. But the ending really did satisfy me, as well as the beginning satisfied me, having Bray Wyatt come out there as dominant as he was and literally stopping the intro. I liked it. I really did. But guys, I want to hear your overall thoughts of this Raw. Leave a comment in the comment section below or send me a video response on how you feel about this Raw. Let alone if you're living in London and you're watching this. Tell if you were at the show, let me know how you felt. Like let me know things that you saw afterwards. Because sometimes there are things that are not on the air that they're gonna be there in person. So let me know how you guys felt about the live Raw. But this is Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out, y'all. See you later.